Hey everyone, welcome back to LT Gaming. My name is Tom and today we're diving deep into the world of real-time strategy once again. Recently we explored the top 20 forgotten RTS gems, so if you haven't seen that video yet, make sure to check it out after this one. We uncovered some incredible games that might have slipped away into the sands of time, but today we're turning our focus to the classics that still shine brightly, games that hold up even now and continue to influence the modern RTS scene, and for various reasons are still absolute bangers. These are the games that defined the genre, the ones that set the standard to what an RTS game should be. Whether it's the thrill of commanding massive armies, the challenge of resource management, or the strategic depth that keeps you coming back for more, these titles have it all. And just to keep things interesting, I won't include the obvious choices like the Age of Empires series or StarCraft, since they still have huge player bases and are widely known. I want to share some gems that might be flying under the radar. So grab your mouse, warm up the keyboard and prepare for a nostalgic trip down memory lane as we count down the top 12 best classic RTS games you need to play again. And as always, I love to hear from you. What are your favourite classic RTS games? Did it make our list, or do you have another gem you think we should know about? Drop your thoughts in the comment below. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy what you hear, and give us a like, it really helps us with the algorithm. Alright, let's get into it. Kicking off our list is a true classic in the world of real-time strategy games. It's Sid Meier's Gettysburg. Released back in '97, this game lets you command either the Confederate or Union troops during the pivotal Battle of Gettysburg in the American Civil War. Whether you're playing the standalone scenarios or embarking on a full campaign, Gettysburg offers the chance to relive history or explore how things might have been done differently on those fateful days. What made Gettysburg a standout was its simple yet intuitive control system. At a time when many strategy games were moving towards more complexity, Firaxis delivered a game that was easy to pick up but still hard to master, giving you strategic depth without getting bogged down with complicated controls, so it was still accessible. And Gettysburg has developed a lot over time. The active modding community has brought this title even more to life, with fans creating everything from historically accurate uniforms and units to new battle maps and sound effects. This continuous customization has made it a favourite among Civil War enthusiasts even to this day. The legacy of Gettysburg is undeniable. Its influence can be seen in modern strategy games like Ultimate General Civil War and Grand Tactician The Civil War. Both of these draw inspiration from the mechanics and approach that Firaxis perfected with this classic. Alright, moving along to another gem on the list, we have The Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth, released back in 2004. If you're a fan of this epic fantasy universe, along with strategic gameplay, this title is a must revisit for you. Whether you're leading the charge with Rohan's Horse Lords, defending the bastions of Gondor, or unleashing the might of Isengard, The Battle for Middle-earth captures the essence of Tolkien's universe like no other. What made this game stand out in the RTS genre was its unique approach to building and resource management. Instead of the usual free building mechanics, you construct on predefined plots, adding a strategic element to expansion and defense. It wasn't just about amassing resources, but smart positioning and tactical decision making. One of the standout features is the immersive experience you get, thanks in part to the voice acting by many of the original film actors, including Ian McKellen, Christopher Lee and others. The soundtrack featured Howard Shore's unforgettable scores from the movies, and it seamlessly blends with new compositions, making you feel like you're part of this epic saga. Critics loved the game, commending it for its strategic depth and impressive graphics, which were quite noteworthy for the time. And it had a pretty good sequel as well, The Battle for Middle-earth 2, which was just as high quality in my opinion. So whether you're looking to relive the battles of Middle-earth or experience them for the first time, this game still holds a special place in the heart of many strategy gamers, and it's a perfect blend of storytelling and strategic gameplay that continues to inspire games even today. Next on our list is a true classic from the late 90s, Myth 2 Soulblighter. Released in '98, this game offered a fresh take on the real-time tactics genre, setting itself apart by focusing purely on tactical combat without the usual base building or resource management typically found in RTS games. Myth 2, you're given a set number of troops at the start of each mission, and it's up to you to lead them to victory. So whether you're investigating eerie villages, performing escort missions, or targeting corrupt officials, the challenge lies in making the most of the units you have. There's no reinforcements coming, so strategy and planning are key. What made Myth 2 stand out for me was its compelling storytelling. Bungie didn't skimp on the narrative, weaving this rich, intense plot that unfolds across 25 missions in the campaign. It had a lot of depth and emotion to it, and it brought you into this world filled with desperation, gloom, although there was also a glimmer of hope. Nostalgia for Myth 2 runs deep. It delivered a pure, unadulterated tactical experience, with a great immersive campaign. Myth 2 Soulblighter brought a lot of improvements over its predecessor, with enhanced graphics and a robust campaign editor as well, and this added even more replayability. If you've missed and never experienced Myth 2 Soulblighter, I would definitely say if you're into classic RTSs, this is one to revisit. Tactical combat at its very best. Now, let's take a look at a game that was well ahead of its time, Earth 2150, from a series of games of the same name. This was a strategy title that was a true pioneer, being one of the first to introduce full 3D graphics to the genre, and it's not as well known as some of its contemporaries. Earth 2150 made a lasting impression on those who played it. The game had depth, strategic elements, along with a great soundtrack and immersive sound effects as well, and this drew a lot of praise from critics. However, its complexity meant it catered more to the hardcore strategy fans than the casual players. If you enjoyed a challenge and you were willing to invest time, Earth 2150 was a rewarding experience. In retrospect, it's clear to me that Earth 2150 was a trailblazer of a game. It featured things like customizable units and permission difficulty settings that were innovations that many RTS games later adopted. Sadly, it didn't reach the commercial heights of games like Command & Conquer or Age of Empires II, but it has still maintained a dedicated fanbase over the years. For anyone who's looking to explore the roots of modern RTS games, it is worth visiting. It's a testament to how pushing the envelope can create a legacy that influences games long after its release. So if you're in the mood for a deep and challenging strategy game, check out Earth 2150. LT gamers, next we're diving into Warlords Battlecry 3, released in 2000. This game was a standout in the RTS genre for its innovative blend of strategy and RPG elements, and it built upon the solid foundation of its predecessors. Battlecry 3 introduced a hero system that added a lot of depth and personalization to your strategic gameplay. You got to command a hero who evolves through battles, you upgrade them, you quest for them, and it made each game feel like a unique experience. Despite its innovative features, this game did not achieve major commercial success, and it didn't even make it into the charts at all. Nevertheless, it holds a special place in the hearts of many of those who played it, and its legacy is evident in the game's detailed hero system and strategic gameplay that laid the future for many RTS titles. The game's graphic engine, along with its predecessors, is this kind of nostalgic nod to 2D visuals reminiscent of Warcraft II and StarCraft, and the community around Warlords Battlecry, although it's always been small, it's very loyal indeed, with fan patches and mods keeping the game alive and well loved by its fanbase. If you're an RTS and RPG enthusiast, this one is a hidden gem worth exploring. Unique gameplay mechanics, engaging hero system, and a fantastic community. Give it a try. Diving into Warzone 2100 next, a groundbreaking RTS game from '99, set in a post-apocalyptic future where civilization has been shattered by nuclear disaster. Warzone 2100 takes you to a world where strategic prowess is the key to survival. The game introduced several important innovations, I feel, that set it apart from its contemporaries. One of the standout features was its create a unit system, allowing players to customize their own combat units with a range of components and capabilities. This level of personalization was well ahead of its time and really added a unique strategic layer to gameplay. It also boasted 3D environments, complete with zoomable and rotatable camera, diverse terrains, and a dynamic day-night cycle that was really ahead of its time. The nostalgia factor for Warzone 2100 for me is very strong, especially since the original devs ceased to support this game, and then passionate fans took over, and the game's source code was made open in 2004. And this sparked a community-driven revival known as Warzone 2100 Project, which continues to this day to enhance and maintain the game, and you can find it available online for free. Despite its commercial struggles, Warzone 2100 left a lasting legacy in the RTS genre. Innovative features and the subsequent community support have kept it very much alive and relevant to this day. So if you're a fan of RTS games and you're looking for something classic that's been continuously refreshed to this day, Warzone 2100 is worth revisiting. Let's explore Spellforce: The Order of Dawn next, a gem from 2003 that masterfully combines real-time strategy with role-playing elements. Set in a world ravaged by the hubris of 13 mighty mages, the game plunges you into a realm torn asunder by elemental chaos and warfare. What made this one a classic was it was that perfect fusion of RTS and RPG genres, giving you base building and resource management on one hand, on the other deep character development and an immersive storyline. It had the best of both. The nostalgia for me with Spellforce is palpable. It had innovative gameplay, graphics, and the game's success led to 2 expansions as well, and a spawning of a whole franchise that lasts even to this day. But Spellforce, the original, still stands out as my personal favourite from this franchise. I find myself coming back to it time and time again. If you missed it back in the day, it's definitely a game worth looking up, as it marries strategy with RPG elements, and that is something that is always going to be fun for me. And next on our list is Supreme Commander, a standout RTS from 2007 designed by Chris Taylor and developed by Gas Power Games, and this one is a spiritual successor to Total Annihilation. Supreme Commander takes the epic scale of this predecessor and amplifies it, delivering one of the most engaging strategic experiences ever crafted. What set it apart was its revolutionary strategic zoom feature, allowing you to oversee these massive battles from a ground perspective and then zoom into the fray with pinpoint accuracy. Its intricate mission designs further enhanced its strategic depth and fun, and the emotional weight of the storyline was also quite punchy. My nostalgia for Supreme Commander, Total Annihilation, all of these games is always massive, but it stood out in a genre crowded with titles like Command & Conquer and StarCraft, giving a unique blend of large-scale strategy and tactical complexity. The game's legacy lies in its ability to balance scale with this depth I've spoken about. It's a game that rewards you for thoughtfully planning out, along with frantic micromanagement, and it made every battle feel like this grand, deliberate operation. If you're a fan of strategy games, you have to check out Supreme Commander. It's aged quite well, as opposed to Total Annihilation, maybe sometimes falls down a bit, and for me it remains a benchmark in the genre for its scale. Next up, we have Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds Saga, a gem from 2001 that lets you command iconic factions from the Star Wars universe. Whether you choose to lead the Galactic Empire, the Rebel Alliance, or even the Wookiees, the game immerses you in the intense battles of the Civil War. What made this one a classic? I know I said I wouldn't put Age of Empires on this list, but it is essentially Age of Empires set in a beloved sci-fi universe. It leveraged the same engine as that game. It had detailed tutorials, multiple campaigns, and a very fantastic multiplayer mode to boot. The nostalgic factor here is strong indeed. If you have a yearning for an RTS game set in the Star Wars universe, or even just a sci-fi experience, it definitely holds up over time, and it's a game that probably deserved a bit more attention back in the day. And next on our list, we have Homeworld Deserts of Kharak, a 2016 RTS title that served as a prequel to the beloved Homeworld series. Set on the barren, shifting sands of Kharak, the game invites you to assemble and lead a fleet through an epic ground-based campaign. What made it a standout is it excelled in delivering a gripping campaign that leverages the strength of the RTS genre. The setting's quite desolate and captivating overall, with intense battles that really showcase stunning visuals and depth to the game as well. The campaign is a bit short, but it is packed with high stakes drama throughout and exceptional writing, unlike Homeworld 3 for example. The nostalgia here for me is very strong. Any spin-off of the Homeworld franchise is always going to gain traction with me personally, and this one hit the right notes with the soundtrack and the atmosphere overall. The legacy of Deserts of Kharak lies in its ability to blend strategic gameplay with this richly crafted narrative. Visuals and weapon effects are very satisfying, and I would definitely say it's worth picking up. However, it's a little pricey, so maybe wait for a sale on this one. LT Gamers, next let's step into the world of Metal Fatigue, a 2000 RTS title that took the genre to new heights quite literally. With metal fatigue, you weren't just battling on one plane, but across 3 different layers: orbit, surface and underground. The game broke the mold by letting you build and customize these giant bots that allowed for endless combinations to dominate the battlefield. It was one of the most innovative RTS games I've seen for quite some time. Other games were sticking to the traditional formula, and this one introduced unique multi-level combat, mech customization that was way ahead of its time. It offered a refreshing change with its distinctive combat and depth. It wasn't perfect, it might crash quite a bit in skirmish mode, but the joy of building these massive mechs, arming them with ridiculous things like katanas, more than made up for it. The nostalgia on this one for me, I remember spending quite a few hours between battlefields, managing units and crafting the ultimate war machines. It's a bit of a hidden gem in the RTS world in my opinion, and a lot of people shouted it out on my other list. So if you're looking for a game that combines creativity and tactical warfare, Metal Fatigue is the perfect choice. Let's go back to 1995 now, LT gamers, with Warcraft II Tides of Darkness, one of the true pioneers of the real-time strategy genre. This classic pit the fierce orcs against the valiant humans, drawing players into this intense struggle for Azeroth. With over 28 campaign scenarios split across 2 unique storylines, you commanded a variety of units from dragons to submarines, elven archers to death knights, you battled on land, sea and air. This game was incredible. Warcraft II built upon the success of its predecessor in almost every way. The introduction of things like Fog of War mechanic was a game changer. It pushed players to scout and adapt. New units and resources, countless strategic options, the game's intuitive control system, allowing for multiple unit selection and easy command access, set a new standard for the genre. And the fact there were finite resources on the map added this layer of depth, meaning you had to make your strategies and decisions count. The nostalgia hits hard on this one, with many an hour spent battling through the epic campaigns. And while Warcraft 3 was also groundbreaking in its own right, there is something timeless about the charm of Warcraft 2. It's a game that defined a generation of strategy fans, I believe. Its legacy is undeniable. Warcraft 2 remains a masterpiece that brought players a perfect mix of gameplay, voice acting, storyline, and this epic clash that lives to this day in various different titles. So gather your peons and ready to work! Azeroth needs you once more. Pick up this title now. And there you have it, LT gamers, the top 12 best classic RTS games you need to play again. Each of these games have left their mark on the RTS genre, showing us why strategy games do have this timeless appeal. Thank you so much for joining me on this nostalgic journey. I've had a blast on this one. I love featuring some of the best RTS games ever made. If you've enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of gaming. And remember, I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments what classic RTS games are your favourite. What would you recommend revisiting? And if there's any hidden gems I should feature in the next lists. Until next time guys, happy gaming, bye bye now.